Hi, my name is Ashley. Today I'll be discussing my informative essay with you guys. My topic of my essay is abortion. My general purpose is to inform my audience about abortion. My scientific purpose is to have my audience listen on reasons why a woman should be able to give birth, to have abortion, or even give it for adoption if they choose to. My thesis statement is that a woman should be able to do what they want regardless, and that the government shouldn't have no say-so in their decision, because it's not their business. My introduction to my informative essay has to be, why do people care so much what other people do? I get that some of you are going to be pro-life and some of you are going to be pro-choice. Some people are going to be pro-life because of their religion, political views, political parties. Maybe they've had, personal experience with abortion. That's fine. But don't drag someone to no one because of their choices. In my, essay, you'll see why, you shouldn't drag someone for their personal choice and why it shouldn't affect you, because a lot of women deal with things mentally while going through abortion because it's a lot to handle. I hate that this country is so hypocritical. I hate that everyone has an opinion for everything. I hate that everyone has a comment for anything, and it's so aggravating. And I really hope you get something out of this essay that when I start it, or listening to it rather, say, I just don't think it's right that we judge someone based off one action. And I really hope that we as a country can come together and fix this problem, because I really feel like it's going to get worse with the people in office, with the laws that I'll explain later. I just don't think it's gonna. I think this country is not gonna wake up, and I feel like a lot of people are gonna get hurt by these laws. The reason to listen to my essay is because abortion is a very important topic in our country right now. So it's very important to talk about it with others and just be educated on the topic. The credibility statements for my essay is I've been very eager to learn and discuss the topic with you guys because it's such an important topic in our country right now because of the different laws going through and everyone just talking about it. My second credibility statement is that I've been doing a lot of research on this topic, so I feel comfortable enough to talk about it. So the preview of the main points I will be talking about is, firstly, I will be talking about abortion in itself. Secondly, I will be talking about the misconceptions when it comes to abortion. Third, I will be talking about the ban on abortion. Fourth, I will be talking about, the men in power and how they regulate everything when it comes to abortion in this country. And lastly, I will be talking about how other countries deal with abortion compared to the US. So, what is abortion? You're probably asking yourself that question. So, abortion is a procedure to end pregnancy. Abortion is usually done by a medical professional in a Planned Parenthood type setting or a doctor's office. So, what happens is a doctor will go in to a woman's uterus and remove the placenta, the fetus, or the embryo. And this is done usually during the day. It doesn't take that long. It's like a 1-day procedure type. And there's actually stats with women who get abortion done. So 40% of women get the abortion because of bad timing, unplanned, not ready. 36% of the time it's related to relationship issues. So maybe they're in a very abusive relationship, or their partner doesn't want them to have it. And the 29% is that the woman herself isn't ready. So maybe education, mental health, things of that sort. And the other percent would be maybe a rape situation, the woman was raped, or incest, maybe something along those lines. And this really puts effect on the woman because it's a hard role in a transition from being maybe a teenager to a woman so fast. So now that we know what abortion is, we're going to transition to the misconceptions about abortion. There are a lot of misconceptions when it comes to abortion, and in this country, a lot of women are looked down upon in a very rude and demeaning way. Because people just don't get why they get it done, and they just don't know why they just can't, have the child. A lot of women are also looked down upon in a way that, they're very irresponsible. Maybe their birth control failed. Maybe, they just slept around and now they're facing the consequences. And it's more of a complex issue than that. There's more that's into it. A lot of women go against their morality to get this procedure done because they know that they're pregnant and they know that they're killing it. So they gotta live with that for the rest of their life. And it's not an easy thing to carry around. And like, these women are, they're, they have to deal with this for the rest of life, and being, shoved down their throats by people who don't agree with it, like, oh, you got this done for X, Y, and Z, like, they are always gonna be looked at differently, and they gotta deal with it, and it's pretty sad. So now that we discussed the misconceptions about abortion and why it's bad, we're gonna go into the reason on why it's banned in our country. In this country, most states, if not all of them, have some sort of ban on abortion, and which is pretty sad. In the federal government's eyes, if anything up to 24 weeks for abortions like acceptable, so you're able to get abortion done and not have to worry about facing some sort of consequences. It's after 24 weeks you have to worry, and that's when it's like deemed illegal, and you can get in a lot of trouble in some states if you get abortion after 24 weeks. A pregnancy is considered full term by 37 through 39 weeks, and with a fetus's heartbeat, it's up to 6 weeks when it's considered they have a heartbeat and movement and brain activity. And again, most women don't find out they have a pregnancy going on until up to 6 weeks, so they don't really got much time to take care of the problem and really sit down and think about what they want to do. So since we just discussed the bans put in place in our country through most of the states, we're going to talk about the lawmakers, which are mostly men in our government, putting these bans and laws into place. So I think everyone kind of knows that in this country we have more men that are in the power of law than women. So we have a lot more men who are lawmakers, and by this happening, they're gonna dictate what's gonna happen to everyone in our country. So men, women, whatever you are. So unfortunately, when it comes to abortion, men are making the laws for us, and it's sad because men do not have any type of business making laws for women because A, they don't go through what we go through, and B, they're men. They personally do not care about the fetus. They care and they more worry about putting bans and laws onto females because that's some sort of control they can have over us. Unfortunately, we have many women activist groups in our country, but it's doing stuff like, they're listening to us, but unfortunately, since there's no women lawmakers, or there's not enough of them, our voices really aren't being heard because we're not being like represented in the government. So the men are going to be like, whatever. It's the fact that these men can sit in a very probably expensive chair and sit down and actually discuss women and decide what they want these women to go through is just completely sad, because these men just, they don't care, and they just like having, again, that control over the women of this country, and it's just not right. Now that I've discussed the men and how they're controlling the women of our country through their government powers, we're going to talk about how other countries compare to the US when we talk about abortion. So this isn't an only American thing. We have something called fetal homicide laws. We're the only country to have this. Other countries don't. Fetal homicide laws is a law that can throw someone in prison for killing a fetus. So this law happens, say you're driving your car, there's a pregnant woman that walks right in front of you, and you slam on your brakes, you hit the woman, she passes away. You can go to prison for 2 counts of murder. Hear me out. because not only did you kill a like the woman, you also killed that fetus, which is considered a baby now because it's alive, which is really not alive. So you would be charged for 2 counts of murder because you also killed the fetus. This is messed up because it's a fetus, it's a clump of cells at the moment, it's not fully born yet. And that's one example. The other example is, you know, you go to a provider in a state that, you know, is the abortion is like banned, it's illegal. You still go because I'm a rebel, I'm gonna go to the Planned Parenthood there. If they know you're getting it done, they can throw you in prison because you're going to kill the baby. Like, the baby will die, obviously. And it's sad because this has happened multiple times throughout our news. I've seen many articles about, you know, women getting thrown in prison for 10 to 15 years because they killed their fetus because they just didn't want it. Yeah, so unfortunately we're the only country to have this type of law, and it's just pretty sad because the fact that you can go away to prison for like the rest of your life because you killed a fetus is just completely sad, and it's just not right all the way around. In conclusion, or my closure for say, I really hoped this has opened your eyes up to our country and how our country is responding to abortion, this controversial topic, and I really hope that maybe you can think about this and, you know, go home, do your own research, educate yourself even more, and have your own opinion about abortion. And I really think our country should be pro-choice, and I get that not everyone's gonna agree with it, but, you know, at least don't be so demeaning about it. Like, don't, you know, tear people down because you think your opinion's right. I really just want to make sure everyone is very much educated about this issue, because it's very important that we can all, everyone in this country can all come onto the same page and realize, like, hey, like, this isn't a bad thing. Like, these women should not be like thrown into like prison. Like, like, this shouldn't be considered as murder. You know, they're doing it because they need to, and it's not your concern, it's none of my concern, it's no one's concern, because it's not anyone's body but the person. And, you know, it's just, everyone should be supportive of someone, or not just someone, everyone in this country who has an abortion, because there's probably a valid reason on why they're doing it. But I really hoped you liked my informative essay. I really hope you got something out of it. I hope you were able to sit back and really think about the points I was making, and hopefully you agreed. If you didn't agree, then that's your opinion, that's fine. I hope everyone has a good day who's watching this. Bye!